Let's watch this clip where the rapper A$AP Rocky and the supermodel Joanne Smalls meet for the first time, and right from the start of the conversation, it's clear that the conversation isn't just polite small talk, there is also a hint of flirtation in it.
Wait, I got two. Saw the beautiful lady and A$AP Rocky. Maybe we can do a... This is good, this is good.
Is it Victoria's Secret?
Yeah, I've been there too. Chanel, Givenchy, Fendi.
I remember you now. I remember, you're beautiful.
Thank you. Very well.
Ain't she beautiful?
Very beautiful. I think that y'all could be a date right now.
First of all, like with any good flirtation, there's always room for plausible deniability. I mean, even if both of them were married, this kind of conversation still wouldn't be perceived as crossing any norms, especially in American entertainment culture. That is, a degree of playfulness is acceptable and even expected in an introduction between two people who are accustomed to the spotlight, and therefore their personalities are naturally relatively extroverted and expressive, and who are also aware that there is a camera in front of them. But still, I want us to pay attention to a few small things that everyone can learn from Rocky. First, he's relaxed, welcoming, and smiling. All of these, beyond the fact that it's more pleasant to talk to someone who smiles at you, also broadcast high status, because high status people are usually more content. Second, when he's trying to remember which campaign she looks familiar from, he glances at her sideways with a kind of a wink. What this expression does is soften the attempt to figure out what she does and converts it from an intellectual effort searching for facts into some kind of little game happening between them of, will I manage to guess what you do? And this is a very important point that many men miss. I work with quite a few men whose most prominent personality trait, the one they rely on most in their daily lives, is their intellect and knowledge, engineers and tech professionals in particular. And their problem, not all of them of course, but many of those who report difficulty getting to know women and entering relationships, is that they view every conversation through the prism of a knowledge test, and therefore it's very important to them to be precise in their words and to be right. And what they need to learn is to converse in a way that isn't goal-oriented, to conduct a conversation whose purpose isn't to discover new knowledge or understand something more deeply, but rather is meant to establish connection and a sense of comfort. And comfort is created through playfulness. So when Rocky tries to guess where she worked and winks while doing so, he's essentially making clear that they're not in a knowledge test. Rather, he's inviting her to play within the same game of, let's see if I can identify where I know you from, and she cooperates with that game in that while she's listing the campaigns she's done, she sways from right to left playfully, that is, in a way that signals that she too understands that the answer itself isn't as important as the fact that they're now in communication with each other and getting to know each other. The discussion about the campaigns she's done is just the platform on top of which they can play and physically synchronize.
Is it Victoria's Secret?
Yeah, I've been there too. Chanel, Givenchy, Fendi.
I remember you now. I remember, you're beautiful.
Thank you. Very well.
Ain't she beautiful?
Very beautiful. I think that y'all could be a date right now.
When he complimented her for the first time and told her she was beautiful, that was appropriate. But afterwards, when he turned to the interviewer and asked him too, isn't she beautiful? That was already too strong of a pull. There was no need for it. In my opinion, he did it simply because at that moment he had nothing to say, and also for the same reason all men who show too much enthusiasm do this, because she appealed to him and he had a little trouble controlling himself, and he wanted to extract a reaction from her that would give him confirmation that he also appealed to her. And I'm pulling this out to make 2 points. One, even men who are accustomed to interacting with beautiful women, like musicians and movie stars, even they can still occasionally make mistakes. And too, and this is my main point in this video, more important than whether you have perfect flirtation game is getting to a situation where you and the beautiful woman are even in the same milieu in the first place. In other words, if I were to show you this clip without an interviewer there and without you knowing who these people were, would you identify anything unusual that gives away the fact that these are two very famous people talking to each other? Probably not. I mean, in the end, flirtation is flirtation, and it doesn't matter whether it happens with your neighbor or with a supermodel. When it happens, it means both sides are interested in cooperating and playing. Many men think that if they're approaching an extraordinarily beautiful woman, they need to put in more effort than her, and that's of course a mistake. Even gorgeous women, when they flirt with a man, do what every woman does and what Joanne also does here in this video. They cooperate and play. And why does Joanne cooperate with him? Because he already has the social proof that he's part of her peer group. He already has all the status markers. He doesn't need to prove to her that he has something to offer her. So from here, what will determine whether something romantic happens between them is whether they're available and whether there's chemistry between them. And this is where flirtation skills can come into play. But many men mistakenly think that if they just improve their skill, then they'll be able to get much higher quality women, and usually that's not what will upgrade the quality of the women they're already dating today. It will allow them to succeed more with the women who are already swiping right on them on Tinder. But it may be that what would allow them to enter a relationship with a higher quality woman is investing in themselves at the strategic level, building connections, establishing their professional standing, working their way up the hierarchy, whether as engineers or researchers or musicians or plumbers, and then even without specifically working on their communication skills, access will open up for them to women they don't currently have access to. And I think the reason many men think that the bottleneck separating them from the supermodel nearest to them is their flirtation skill is because today it's very easy to get confused and think you have access to women that you actually don't, because everyone has Instagram and no one is stopping you from approaching a beautiful woman at a club or at the gym. So it's easy to think that the reason the beautiful girl at the club said I have a boyfriend is because you don't flirt well enough. But it's more likely that even if you were a master of flirtation, it wouldn't have advanced with her because it takes two for this game, and she didn't want to play with you in the first place. Just as I could be an excellent salsa dancer, I'm not, but let's say I were, but if the woman doesn't want to dance with me, then there will be no dance. And what makes beautiful women want to dance with the man? If he has already passed some kind of filtering before direct contact was made between them. That is, these models will usually be found in social circles that not anyone can enter to begin with. And therefore, if a man from that circle approaches her, she already knows that he's at least connected to other people she knows and who are at the level and quality she's looking for, that he's one of her own. That is, the most significant step A$AP Rocky took to make a move on Joanne Smalls was to get to a state where someone they both know, the interviewer in this case, introduces them. That is, Rocky didn't have to approach her and make a move on her from scratch the way most of us do, where the situation really feels unbalanced and there is a greater burden of proof on the man. Rather, the interaction between them began already from a balanced place, and she shook his hand and wanted to get to know him just as he wanted to get to know her. And after you already arrive at the situation, after years of hard work and paving your way to the peak of world music, then the more you improve your flirtation skills, the more you can increase your chances of entering a romantic relationship with a woman of your standing. But it's not the most important step. So I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.